Hey, hello everyone. This is Shutirtha. I'm a lead product consultant at XfilesPro, and along with me, I have Levin today, who is a product consultant. So
Hello.
today is hey, hi Levin. Thanks. So today we'll be conducting a live webinar on mastering document management in Salesforce, specifically for the legal industry. And today our webinar will be mostly a learning session for legal industry experts who are already using Salesforce and having challenges with their Salesforce files. Yeah. So going forward, before we really get started, I would like to tell you the agenda of today's webinar. So we'll first discuss the key processes for document management, mostly related to legal industry, then the challenges that are there in document management in Salesforce, and how Xfiles Pro is helping this legal firms in their document management. And post that, we'll also cover some of our customers who are already getting benefited using our solution. And it will be followed by a quick demo from Libin. And we'll also be having some time before the end for the question and answer that anyone can bring up in, and we'll take those and try to answer those. And in any case, due to shortage of time, if we cannot answer those, we'll be having your mail IDs. So we'll answer you those over email. And we also have an option where we can also contact specific demos according to your use cases. And maybe we can take some time later, which we can take over the emails. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining in. We see really good numbers today. So I believe the webinar will be really insightful for everyone. So I will begin. So you see, like what we understand from our understanding and from the experience of working with legal industry customers across years, that there are certain key processes which involves document upload or document management in Salesforce. Okay, like we have listed some of them, like client intake and onboarding, and we have seen people upload client intake form, retainer agreement. Then in case management, they're using also having document retention policy, which is pretty like a requirement due to compliance, right? Certain documents that the client send in, you have a retention policy that you cannot keep that client post certain years. So this is something also we can manage with Xfiles Pro. Then people are generating invoices, they have payment agreements against which they make follow-ups. So all this can also be tracked using Xfiles Pro. They can have draft templates. With a single click they can generate those documents and others, right? So everything can be templatized. There can be checklist and others. So all these documents and the key processes that we have seen in legal industry is something we are trying to cover this, and we have been already supporting some of the customers of ours who are already using Xfiles from the legal industry. So when we say the top challenges that we have seen is, so one of them is difficulty in managing high volume of sensitive files. So one is high volume in the sense because legal industry customer actually onboards clients on a regular basis, and those people send lots of documents and evidence and others which are to be recorded in the CRM for future reference. And not only that, it's large volume. They also have a requirement that these files are certain sensitive. So that is where we can also control which file is to be shared with which user or which group of um, profiles or roles in Salesforce. So that is something Xfiles Pro can do. And not only that, we can segregate those documents in subfolders. We can also tag them, and that is something we'll show you in demo, and Levin will be showing you that. And apart from that, there are certain flows that works in legal industry, right? So file will move from this location to this location on certain status updates. So that is also something we can do. Sometimes we're generating documents using a document solution, maybe like Xfiles Pro. So that also you want to export it to an external storage. And this entire thing can be automated based on certain requirements or conditions. Now, the other challenges options that we have seen is collaboration. So basically what happens when you are generating documents, maybe you're generating a doc file, right? in Salesforce, or you are uploading a Word document in Salesforce, then there are a lot of collaboration requirement comes, like multiple stakeholders will all work on top of that file. But in Salesforce, whenever you upload a file, this is mostly a read-only view, right? So that is why we give you a bridge between Salesforce and other document collaboration solutions like SharePoint, OneDrive, Google Drive, and Amazon S3, where you can do inline edits on top of the file. And that is what you can do everything from Salesforce. All those recommendations, comments, edits, changes, version control can be done. And those challenges can be mitigated with a solution like ours. And restriction on sizes, if we see. So what happens once you, like any company which grows, their volume of file uploads of file in Salesforce storage increases. And as you know, Salesforce file storage is pretty costly, and even maintaining or grouping the files in a proper structure is cumbersome. So, like if you already know, like Salesforce file storage limit is like 2 GB per file is the maximum size limit that Salesforce supports or allows you to upload. But we can cross beyond that. In fact, with for Amazon S3 as an external storage with Xfiles, we support up to 27 GB. For Google Drive, we support up to 7 GB. For OneDrive and SharePoint, we have seen 2 GB of file can easily be uploaded. And anything above that, you can also drop in SharePoint. It can reflect back in Salesforce. So you are removing that limitation from Salesforce if you're using something called XfilesPro. Like sometimes for evidence, people are uploading huge videos, right, as an evidence. So that can also be taken care. So now I would come across like why XfilesPro is a number of choice for legal industry. In fact, you can go and check in Salesforce App Exchange. You will be understanding like XfilesPro is the one of the topmost choice among file management solution in Salesforce, and you can check that in App Exchange through the reviews. So we currently support SharePoint, OneDrive, Amazon S3, and Google Drive as the option, and we give you this functionality like you can efficiently store your documents in an external storage without using or reducing the Salesforce file storage cost. And all the files that you are exporting, there is no third-party medium, so it maintains all the compliance. Everything will be between your Salesforce and your external storage, and will be all the secure. When I say security, means your all the confidentiality and control or the access control is maintained. Like suppose one user cannot see the files of another user who they are not deemed to see, or they do not have the record level access. Apart from that, we can also control on a minor level. Even if I have multiple people have record level access, still you can block certain files to be accessed from the XfilesPro component in Salesforce, right? So all this version control can also be taken care. We can also use some workflows with which we can automate certain file movement generation. Yeah. Another best thing is if you have a customer facing portal like Experience Cloud, so that is where also XfilesPro can be used. Yeah. So files will directly move to your external storage from your Experience Cloud, even not going inside Salesforce. Right. So these are some of our customers. Like we have close to 70, 80 plus customers who are already using our solution for legal industry. And these are some of our customers: Long, Shapido, OSB, Driver Defense System, which are some of the noteworthy names who are already using this. And not only legal industry, because this is a very application can also be used by other companies. And if you see, these are like 600 plus global clientele that are already using XfilesPro for some time. And we are in the market for more than 10 years now for XfilesPro with 600 plus users and almost close to, I think, 3 or 400,000 license users now. Yeah. So yeah, over to you, Libin, so you can get started on the demo. And if anyone has any questions, they can actually mention the same over the chat option that they have in the webinar, and maybe I can answer those while you see the demo. Yeah. Hey, Libin, please.
Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you. Thank you so much, Roy, for the insightful information that you just shared about XfilesPro and how XfilesPro is helping legal industries. So, hello again, everyone. So, I'm Libin here. I'm a product consultant here at XfilesPro, and I specifically handle our XfilesPro, that which is a file management and file generation application. So, I am going to specifically show you how whatever Roy just spoke about on the feature aspect, how XfilesPro is helping legal industry. So let me just share my screen here. If you could just confirm once it's visible.
Yeah, Libin, it's appearing.
Perfect. Thank you. So
Yeah.
before I go ahead and show you how XfilesPro works, and so let me just retouch on whatever Roy just spoke about. So the major challenges that a lot of legal industry faces are, one is, they being in this industry, they have huge amount of files and they have huge amount of folders, and it's very difficult to manage these files and folders in Salesforce because you cannot keep it in a structured way. That's again a major challenge that they face. And they have specific files that they would like to keep in specific folders, which is again not possible in Salesforce. And if you talk about you have they have a lot of customers who who share a lot of files through emails, and these files come and sit in your Salesforce file storage. And once you and now, since we in this industry there's a huge amount of file requirement, you end up exhausting your file storage. And once you exhaust your file storage, a lot of them don't have an option, but apart from buying extra storage from Salesforce, which is again a costly affair. And I've also seen that a lot of legal customers would require to move these files to an external storage, and so that they can link it to Salesforce. And one of the best features that I've seen they use is share a link of the file, or share a link where their customers can share a file with them. So when they share that link to the customer can share, let's say you want a KYC document to be shared by the customer. So you share a link to the customer, and the customer clicks on the link, and he can upload the KYC document directly into your Salesforce or your external storage. So this is some of the features that I've seen that a lot of legal customers use, and this is what I'm gonna talk about today. So XfilesPro as an application is a managed package which gets installed in your Salesforce org, and it integrates with your external storages. So it can be any storage, as Roy previously said, which is SharePoint or AWS S3 or Google Drive or OneDrive. Now, once you're done the storage setup, then what you require is object setup. So all your objects, whether they are a standard object or a custom object, they are available in this XfilesPro. You can customize them. You can and once you configure those objects, you can also define the folder structure. So once you define the folder structure, the funds, all the files and folders move accordingly as per the folder structure. Now, in this scenario of in this webinar, I'm going to take account object and I'm going to show you how it works. So I have account record here, which is called legal industry webinar. So yeah, so once I have that, so you can see I have some folders that I've created automatically. So this can be automated based on what folders you want. So these are general folders that a lot of legal customers require. And these folders, it's like for every record that they create, they would want these folders. Like you have correspondence, drafts, case notes, KYC documents, so that you can keep each and files related to these folders, relate each files into these specific folders, and that's what we help you in. Now, a lot of companies, they have an option where they would directly upload or manually upload the file into Salesforce. So if you see here, we have a similar feature here where you have an upload file option, and you can directly upload the file into your external storage. So in this situation, we have SharePoint as the external storage, and we can directly upload it. So while also talking about the PPT, Roy spoke about tags, where you can tag each and every file as per what kind of file it is, whether the file is approved or not approved. So those tags can be, you can tag these files while uploading them. So you can see I have an option called approved document. So I can put it as yes or no, or I can also mention what kind of document it is, whether it's a contract, whether it's an agreement or a KYC document. That's it. And that tag will be available for the Salesforce user to view here. You can see the tags are coming. Now, what you see here is the link of the file while the actual file is sitting in SharePoint. You see? So these are the actual file that is sitting in SharePoint while the link of the file is available here. Now, you saw that we have these folders that we have created automatically whenever we have created a record. Now, you can also control the access of these folders, where you would want these folders to be available only to specific user or a specific profile, depending on how you want to restrict that access of the folder and the files within the folder. So in here, you can define that access and make sure that only those specific users or those specific profile or specific public groups can have access to these folders. Yeah. Now this is done. So now, as I mentioned earlier, so we have a lot of emails or email attachment that comes to us. So where a lot of customers share their files through emails. Now, whenever they share any file through emails, they come and these files come and sit in your notes and attachment of file attachment here. Correct. So you have huge amount of files that are being loaded up here, which is again exhausting your Salesforce file storage. Now, again, as I said, once your Salesforce file storage is exhausted, you don't have a choice apart from buying new storage from Salesforce. And here is where XfilesPro, what it does is we can write a trigger where either you can specify the criteria, what kind of criteria you want to move the files. Do you want the files to be moved on instantaneously? We can do that. Do you want the files to be in Salesforce for some period of time until that case is, case gets over or case is over? And then we can move the file. So that criteria also can be defined. You can also move the files based on the number of days you would want the files to be. Let's say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That's up to you. So based on that criteria, what the trigger does is it pulls the files from your Salesforce file storage and pushes it to your external storage. So now I will show you the same feature through a manual process that we have, where we have chosen the provider, the object, and we have given a criteria, and we click on export. You can see the file started moving. So here again, it is pulling the files from the Salesforce file storage and pushing it to your external storage. And like that, if you go back and check, the files will not be available in your Salesforce file storage at all.
And Libin, I will just add, this is not only for this instance. So suppose someone is already using Salesforce for quite some time, like 2-3 years, and they have lots of files that are already sitting in Salesforce, and they get onboarded with a solution like XfilesPro. So for them also, it can help in the existing file migration. Like we have done TBs of migration of files, of existing files. And this will reduce your Salesforce file storage and also reduce your Salesforce file storage cost. Yeah. Thanks, Levin.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks for adding that. Yeah, so as Roy said, if you have existing files in Salesforce and you would like to move it, so this tool can help you with that. If you have new files coming in and you would want to move it instantaneously, we have a trigger for that. Now you see the files are not actually sitting here, they have moved to a component here, and the files are sitting here. Yeah. Now, another feature that we spoke about is you have files, you want to give a link of the file to your customer. So let's say you have a folder and you would want your customer to upload the files in that folder. Yeah. So instead of you waiting for them to send an email, then you downloading that file and then re-uploading it into Salesforce, we have an option called Get Files. Now, what that option does is you select the folder in which you would want the files to be. We have an option called Get Files. And in this option, you give the email ID of the customer. So it's not necessary that the customer has to be a Salesforce user. He can be an external user. And once you give the email ID, you can give a subject as well. So it goes as an email to the end customer. And in the email, the customer will get a link. And through the link, the customer can upload the file directly. So let me show you how. Yeah, email has been sent. So you see, I have email here, and you can see I have the link here. So once I click on this link, it will go to this option and I can upload the files from here. Yeah. So in this scenario, so as I said, so in this way, XfilesPro helps a lot for legal industry, not to just move the files from their Salesforce to their external storage, but also manage them in a much better way. You can keep the files in a structured way. You can edit the files. You can share a link to your customer so that they can upload the file directly to your SharePoint. And you can also make sure that all your files and folders are secured. So you can also control the sharing of the files and folders through XfilesPro. So through these features is where we help our legal customers manage their files in a better way in Salesforce, thus saving cost and making them more efficient. I think I have covered here, Roy. So over to you. And if you have any questions here regarding how XfilesPro can help you, and if you want a personal demo, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to have a go on a one-on-one call with you and give you a personalized demo in case you felt that some use case I have not covered here. Yeah.
Thanks, Levin, for the insightful demo. I believe this will support the attendees who have joined. Yeah, we have one question here. Of course support custom objects. So whether standard custom object, in case someone is using Litify, so we also support Litify. So I see one question, they are not using Salesforce, but they're using Litify for legal industry. Yes, we have already worked with Litify for multiple projects, and yes, it supports Litify objects also. I think Joseph asked one question, what is the maximum size of files? So Libin, you can take that while I scroll to the other questions.
So
Yeah.
the maximum size of files that can be uploaded, it depends on the external storages that you configure. So as Roy said previously, if it's an S3, it can be 27 GB. If it's SharePoint and OneDrive, it's 2 GB, and Google Drive 1 GB. So 8 GB. So that is the maximum limit that we have. And it depends on the external storages that you configure and not on the component. Yeah.
Thanks, Libin, for taking that question. Libin, Paul asked on the application implementation, if you can cover that.
Yes. So we have an implementation team that will help you with the initial implementation of the application. So from your installing of the package to the configuration of your external storages to your configuration of your objects, defining the folder structure until you go live. We cover everything, and we have a specific team for that. And the moment you are onboarded, we help you with that, and we make sure that you are able to use the application, you understand the application, and then you go live. So you don't have to worry about the implementation at all.
Hey, thanks, Libin. I think we have some more minutes. So one question is an interesting one. So they are asking, I think this question is from Ian. So Ian is asking, they already have files in SharePoint. So they're using Salesforce, but due to the costly affair with Salesforce files, so they're already keeping files in SharePoint and they're already maintaining a nomenclature, like they have some folder structure that they're maintaining. So can that be implemented? And if we can connect those existing files in SharePoint with Salesforce. So yeah, the answer your question, yes, so we can do. So Libin, it will be better if you take this because it's
Yes,
yeah.
so definitely. So when we define the folder structure in our XfilesPro, basically, whatever folder structure that you're already using in SharePoint can be reiterated here in Salesforce. So we have a formula field where you can specifically mention that folder structure, whatever you're following up in SharePoint, and based on that, whatever the files are there in SharePoint will get automatically linked, because once the folder structure is set, it basically follows the folder path. So once it follows the folder path, all the file links will be available in your specific Salesforce record, depending on the structure.
Okay, I think we have another 2 minutes left, and we have some more questions to be answered. So anyway, means we'll answer you one by one because we have the email IDs over email. The last question that we'll be taking is regarding Experience Cloud. So one is asking, do Experience Cloud user, how can Experience Cloud user access these files, because these files are in external storage? Libin, if you can take that question.
Thanks, Roy. So, see, we can add a component in your experience site or as an in your experience site, and once the component gets added, whatever the files that you have in your external storage will be linked to your experience cloud. So, the moment a user logs in, if he has access to that record and he has the license of XfilesPro, they will be able to view the files from the experience cloud itself, even though the file is sitting in your external storage.
All right. Yeah. So thank you everyone. We'll be answering the other questions over email. And in any case, if you all want to see a personalized demo or discuss with us, you can mail us at sales@xfilespro.com, where we can take those questions and also do the demo of the application. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you. Thanks, Roy.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Have a good day. Bye.